All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at a cordless heating pad.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, a deep dive into the world of cordless heating pads. And specifically, we're looking at the COMFIER Cordless heating pad. This product's got like over 12,000 ratings on Amazon.
Wow.
So we're going to try to figure out, what makes it tick and whether it really lives up to the hype.
I think it's really interesting to see this kind of push towards cordless technology, even in something like a heating pad.
Yeah.
I feel like the implications for pain management and just general comfort are pretty significant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a total game changer, right? No more being tethered to an outlet.
Totally.
You can use it on the couch at your desk.
Yeah.
Even in the car if you want.
Exactly. And it looks like COMFIER has gone beyond just like basic heat too. They've actually incorporated 4 massage motors into this model.
4 massage motors?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty unique.
I'm curious, what's the advantage of having so many? Is it about offering different types of massage, or is it more about intensity?
That's a great question. I think it could be both, actually. Multiple motors allow for more targeted massage, hitting different muscle groups with varying intensities.
Okay.
And they even mention on the product page that the motors can provide a kneading or shiatsu-like massage.
Oh, wow.
That level of customization is pretty rare in a heating pad.
That makes sense, yeah. It's not just about applying heat anymore. It's about, mimicking the hands of a masseuse.
Precisely. And if we connect this to the feedback from actual users, we see some interesting trends. Like one reviewer with fibromyalgia mentioned that the vibration was perfect for their needs. This suggests that the multiple motors and their varying intensities could be particularly beneficial for people with chronic pain conditions.
That's fascinating. So it's not just a gimmick.
Right.
It seems like the multiple motors are actually serving a real purpose.
It seems that way, yeah. It highlights how the technology behind heating pads is evolving to offer more comprehensive pain relief solutions.
So we've got cordless freedom. We've got targeted massage.
Yeah.
What else makes this heating pad stand out?
Well, they've incorporated a 58-inch belt with an extender.
Okay.
That sounds pretty generous, but there's a catch.
Let me guess, some reviewers mentioned that it might not be sufficient for everyone.
Spot on.
Okay.
Several reviewers expressed concerns about the fit, particularly for larger individuals.
Right.
They mentioned that even with the extender, the belt felt snug and didn't quite cover the intended area.
Yeah, that's an important point. It seems like the one-size-fits-all approach doesn't always work.
Right.
Especially when it comes to something as personal as pain relief.
Absolutely. And it highlights the importance of checking the product dimensions and considering your own measurements before making a purchase.
Good advice. So we've got the cordless design, the 4 massage motors, and the potential size limitations. Anything else we should know about the features?
They emphasize the soft velvet material, which is a nice touch.
Sure.
And of course, there's adjustable heat, which is pretty standard in most heating pads these days.
Right.
But what's interesting is that several reviewers commented on the intensity of the heat.
Oh, yeah. I remember reading that one review where the person said the heat was very hot.
Yeah.
But they meant it in a good way.
Exactly. It seems like they've really cranked up the heat output on this model.
Okay.
While that can be a plus for some, it's something to be mindful of, especially if you have sensitive skin.
Good point. Yeah. It's always a good idea to start on a lower setting and work your way up to avoid any discomfort.
Definitely. Now let's shift gears and delve into the cordless aspect a bit further.
Okay.
This is where it gets really interesting from a technological standpoint.
Right.
The COMFIER heating pad utilizes a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, which is known for its long lifespan and ability to hold a charge even when not in use.
So it's not like those old-school rechargeable batteries that would lose their juice, even when sitting on the shelf.
Exactly. Lithium-ion batteries are much more efficient in that regard.
Okay.
This means you can charge the heating pad and have it ready to go whenever you need it without worrying about it constantly draining.
Gotcha.
This is a big advantage over traditional corded heating pads that need to be plugged in to function.
Yeah, that's a huge plus, especially if you're planning to use it on the go.
Right.
You don't want to be hunting for an outlet every time you need a little relief.
Exactly. Yeah, it really opens up the possibilities for pain management.
For sure.
Imagine being able to use a heating pad while commuting, traveling, or even during outdoor activities. That level of portability is pretty revolutionary.
It's like taking your personal masseuse with you wherever you go.
Totally.
But let's be realistic. This kind of technology and convenience probably comes at a premium, right?
Well, it's not as expensive as you might think, actually. The COMFIER Cordless heating pad is listed on Amazon for $59.99.
$59.99.
Yeah.
That's less than I expected.
Right.
I've seen some basic corded heating pads go for almost that much.
And there's another hook they offer that caught my eye.
Okay.
If you contact the company directly, you can snag an extended warranty for up to 3 years.
Wow, that's a pretty good deal. Shows that they stand behind their product and are confident in its durability.
It definitely adds a layer of security to your investment, especially if you plan on using the heating pad frequently.
Right.
It's like having a safety net in case anything goes wrong.
So to recap, we've got cordless functionality, 4 massage motors, adjustable heat. a soft velvet material,
yeah,
and a potentially snug fit for something.
right.
And all of this for under $60 with the option of an extended warranty.
Pretty good deal.
Sounds pretty impressive on paper.
It does, but ultimately, the real test is how it performs in the hands of users.
Sure.
And that's where those Amazon reviews come in handy.
All right, let's dive into the feedback from the trenches. What are people saying about the COMFIER Cordless heating pad?
Well, the average rating on Amazon is 4.2 stars.
Okay.
Which is a pretty solid indicator of overall satisfaction. Of course, you always have a mix of opinions,
yeah,
but the general consensus seems to be positive.
That's encouraging. I'm always a bit wary of products with too many 5-star reviews.
Sure.
It can feel a little suspicious.
I agree. It's always good to see a balance of perspectives.
Right.
And in this case, there are some critical reviews that highlight potential drawbacks.
Like the size issue we talked about earlier.
Yes, that seems to be a recurring theme.
Okay.
Several reviewers mentioned that the belt, even with the extender, wasn't quite long enough for their needs.
All right, so that's something potential buyers definitely need to be aware of.
For sure.
Any other common complaints or concerns?
There were a few mentions of the battery life not being as long as advertised. Some users reported getting less than the stated 2 hours of cordless use.
That's interesting. I wonder if that has to do with using the massage and heat functions simultaneously.
Yeah.
Maybe that drains the battery faster.
That's a possibility. It's worth noting that battery life can vary depending on the usage patterns and settings.
Okay.
But it's something to consider, especially if you're planning on using the heating pad for extended periods without access to an outlet.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be ideal to have your heating pad die in the middle of a long car ride or a relaxing evening on the couch.
Exactly. It's all about setting realistic expectations and understanding the limitations of the technology.
So what does this all mean for our listener who's considering adding this cordless heating pad to their arsenal of pain relief tools?
It's a classic case of weighing the pros and cons.
Sure.
On one hand, you have the freedom and portability of a cordless design.
Right.
The potential benefits of targeted massage from the 4 motors, the soft and comfortable material, and the relatively affordable price point. On the other hand, you have potential concerns about sizing battery life and the intensity of the heat.
It sounds like this heating pad could be a real game changer for some people.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all solution.
That's a great way to put it. It's about understanding your individual needs and preferences and making an informed decision based on that.
And I think that's a good segue into a larger point about self-care and pain management.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding the right product.
Sure.
It's about listening to your body and exploring different approaches to find what works best for you.
Couldn't agree more. There's no magic bullet when it comes to pain relief.
Right.
It's often a process of trial and error, experimentation, and self-discovery.
It's about taking ownership of your well-being and advocating for what your body needs.
For sure.
Sometimes it's a heating pad, sometimes it's stretching, sometimes it's medication, sometimes it's a combination of all those things.
And sometimes it's simply about carving out time for rest and relaxation, even if it's just for a few minutes each day.
I think that's a powerful message to leave our listener with.
Yeah.
It's not just about the product.
Right.
It's about the bigger picture of taking care of yourself.
Yep.
It's so easy to forget about that sometimes, you know?
Yeah, it really is.
Just get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life.
Right.
And forget to prioritize our own well-being.
Absolutely. We often put our own needs on the back burner.
Yeah.
But taking even a few moments each day to just check in with ourselves can make a world of difference.
Absolutely. And sometimes those moments of self-care involve a little technological assistance.
Like a cordless heating pad.
Exactly.
That can provide soothing warmth and targeted massage wherever you happen to be.
I want to leave our listener with a few key takeaways.
Okay. Sounds good.
First and foremost, consider your individual needs and priorities. Do you value portability above all else?
Right.
Is finding the perfect fit like non-negotiable?
For sure.
Once you've identified your must-haves, take a close look at the product details.
Okay.
Check those dimensions, read through the reviews, and pay attention to any recurring themes or concerns.
That's good advice.
And don't be afraid to do a little extra research.
Yeah.
Compare this heating pad to other models on the market.
Right.
Consider the pros and cons of cordless versus corded options.
For sure.
And explore different price points.
Definitely.
Ultimately, the decision is yours. So until next time,
All right.
may your days be filled with comfort, knowledge, and a healthy dose of self-care.